cooking allowed in Aisha's kitchen, which is why I've got my hairnet on. Don't worry, I am not cooking today. So today, really exciting. In a moment we are going to be cooking meatballs. I am very excited. Aisha doesn't share this recipe with people very often. So we're really happy to be let into some Aisha secrets. And then afterwards, we are going to be having a wonderful quiz, and it's all about travel. So over the past couple of weeks, we've done a couple of travel things. We have had some language lessons. We have talked about accessibility, and we have talked about how you travel accessibly. And this week, we're bringing it all together with a lovely quiz that has a bit of a travel element. So don't worry, the questions are, I won't say easy, but they should be, some of them should be guessable, and some of them should be easy. You might have some of them being a bit more challenging. So this week, as I said, we are cooking in the kitchen. Aisha's going to come along and tell us all the ingredients and everything in a moment, so that's not my forte. But we are going to be cooking, and therefore we need to make sure we have, if we're using an oven and we haven't used an oven before, you have to have someone with you so you don't burn yourself. If you're not very confident with using sharp knives, again, make sure you've got someone around you. Don't want you getting hurt in the kitchen. And if Aisha picks up a pan without using oven gloves again, don't copy her. She's got years and years and years of practice and is more than capable of doing so, but please don't do that yourself. So I am going to hand over to Aisha, and she's going to be very pleased that I'm getting out of her kitchen. Over to you, Aisha.
Yes, good afternoon. And welcome to today's session. We're going to make mince meat.
So what do we have to do first, Aisha? I think you've done a few steps without us.
First, you will need a mince ball, is it?
Meatballs.
Yeah, meatballs. So today I've got 500 grams of minced beef. You can use minced lamb if you like, as long as it's minced. You can use minced chicken. They do that, the chicken breast. You can use that as well. So
your mince, Aisha, is it any special sort of mince? Is it a low-fat mince, a high-fat mince, or does it matter?
This one, it doesn't matter. I tend to use the low-fat. This one has got 5% fat on it. But then you have 17, you have 20, so it's up to you. So this one is 5% fat. Okay. And so in my bowl, I've got 500 grams of minced beef. And
have you done anything special with it, or just emptied it out of the package?
No, I just emptied it out. I'm just mixing it now before I add my ingredients. So this is just the minced beef. Now, my ingredients today are going to be mixed herbs, any mixed herbs, black pepper, garlic powder. You can do the fresh garlic if you want, or garlic puree. And this is chicken seasoning. That's all I have today. So you're using chicken seasoning with beef. Is there any reason for that?
Not
really. It's what I have. I don't have the beef. But if you have the beef seasoning, you use it like a cube. Okay. 1 cube of beef seasoning. And then just taste it. You might need a little bit of salt. It all depends how you take your salt. Some people want less, some people want more. So if you can taste it, fine. If not, I just use, I'm just going to use a teaspoon and a half of
all-purpose chicken seasoning.
Yeah, this is chicken. It's not all-purpose chicken. Okay. Yeah. So that's
so you're just using a teaspoon out of the drawer, not a teaspoon measure.
Yeah, teaspoon.
And it was a nice heaped teaspoon.
Yeah, and a little bit.
I'm guessing this is something, the more you cook it, the more you gauge it?
Yes, so you can use them, you can even use chicken cubes if you have, like I tend to use the OXO, because then you can just crush it, so it's easy to crush.
So if you're using chicken cubes, or whichever cubes, how many would you use?
1.
Just the one?
1, yeah. And then if you think that you need a little, like I say, it all depends how you take your salt. So because it tends to be salty. And now half a teaspoon of garlic powder.
Does it have to, if you had garlic puree, would that work as well?
Yeah, any garlic, yeah.
And how much puree would you use?
Yeah, half a teaspoon as well. You just squeeze it on the spoon. So, and then half a teaspoon of black pepper.
I'm guessing any pepper would work if you got white pepper or mixed pepper.
Even if you have the, what is it called, the chili, the flaky ones.
Ooh.
Chili flakes, yeah.
I like the sound of spicy meatballs.
Yeah. So I do that. When I do it, that's what I use the chili flakes. And this is the mixed herbs.
We know that mixed herbs are your favourite.
A heaped teaspoon of mixed herbs. That's my favourite ingredients. So that's all done. Now you're gonna need your 10 fingers for this one. In this case, I'll just use 5 for now.
So is this because your hands are the best tool for doing this job?
The hands.
So you're gonna have to get a bit mucky.
Yeah, the hands are always.
So make sure you've really washed your hands carefully before you do this job.
Yeah, I'm wearing gloves, as you can see.
But you still wash your hands first?
Yeah, I've washed my hands, so...
And you're sort of squeezing it in your hand and putting it together and mixing it round so that it's all combined really well.
Yeah.
Is it getting a bit... Is the texture changing as you're mixing it? Is it being less...
just a little bit, because like it hasn't got much fat, so it's okay. So what I tend to do at this point, that's just to taste for the salt. I taste it and put the half in the bin. I take a teaspoon and then just to make sure that I have the salt. Yeah.
So all Aisha did was put her tongue to it. She didn't eat it because it is raw at the moment. Please do not eat raw meat.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
Yeah. So that's it. The seasoning is fine. I don't need to add anything else.
Brilliant.
So that's done. All you have to do now is just do the balls.
So how do we make our meatballs? About how much did you pinch off?
That's the size. I don't know how.
What we're going for? Just slightly smaller than golf balls would be my guess for the size. It was just you pinched off a bit and then you put it in your hands and you rolled them together. Moved both hands in opposing directions with the meat in the palm of your hands. Yeah. And that makes a ball. That's a really good tip if you need to make a ball out of anything.
Yeah.
Glue tack, plasticine, clay.
So,
same way you make a ball.
Yeah, that's it. It's easy. Just try to separate them.
Yeah. So how far away from each other do they need to be when you pop them in?
Just a few inches.
So about the top thumb joint of your thumb away from each other. That's about an inch on most people.
So that's it. I'm
just rolling the meat together into balls. So these will make quite densely packed meatballs because you're squishing them together.
Yeah. If
you didn't want them as densely packed, is there a way of making them lighter, for want of a better word?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I'm throwing horrible questions. So if you have got any questions for Aisha about what she's doing, about her secret ways of making the meatballs even more special, please do pop them down in the comments and we will answer all of your questions when we put the meatballs in the oven, because I've got a taste tester standing behind me really, really, really wanting to taste these meatballs.
Yeah.
And we just 500 grams. About how many meatballs would you expect it to make?
It depends on the size.
About the size you're making them.
Probably I'll get maybe I've got now 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, maybe 24, 22, something like that. About this size, yeah.
That's good.
I'm not sure, yeah. So you can make them a little bit smaller if you want. It's just the size.
Yeah. Or could you make them bigger? Would that affect anything if we made them any bigger?
Not really. No, it's still the same. Yeah. Just the size that you want them.
Okay. So we're just rolling all of our. So some of our meatballs are not perfect, they've got little bits of dents in them, that's fine. They don't have to be perfect balls. They are they're going to be wonderful whatever they look like.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make your own burgers, would this be the same basic idea as well?
Yeah, you do. But the only thing with burgers, you because like this one, I've got the 55% fat. With the burgers, you need at least 15-20% fat.
Okay, that's a good tip, Aisha.
Yeah.
You need more fat for burgers.
Yes.
I always buy lower fat mince, so I wouldn't be able to make burgers out of them.
Yeah, well, you can, but it just won't taste as nice as the other one.
Yeah, sometimes you have to have that little bit of fat that you wouldn't normally have just to make it cook better.
Yeah, tastes better as well. That's just the way it is sometimes. So
just keep rolling them up, and then we'll count how many we actually made to see how good Aisha's guess was on how many she thinks she'd make.
I'm not very good at guessing, so.
Oh, I'm going to be surprised. I think you're going to be closer than you thought you'd be.
So there now, that's done.
There we are. Last one rolled up.
Mm-hmm. So let me see how many I've got here. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22.
22, that's not bad. I'm very impressed by how close you were. So Aisha's popped them all in her tray, but she hasn't worried about lining them up like soldiers. They're all a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Yeah. They don't have to be in straight lines. No. Did you do anything special to your tray before putting the meatballs in?
Yeah, you grease it, put a little bit of oil, whatever oil you have.
Okay, so is it just a really
thick at the bottom? A
really fine line. If you had baking parchment, would that work as well?
Yes, it would. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So we can either oil the tray or baking parchment down. Yeah. I'm a great fan of baking parchment. Makes cleaning up so much easier. So how do we cook these, Aisha?
So now I've already heated up the oven to 240. I'm going to put them in now to 210.
So you heated it up higher than you're going to use.
Yes.
You're going to turn it down to 210 to cook them for. Yeah. So if you didn't have an oven, I'm going to let you pop them in there first, making sure that if you're popping anything in the oven, you use your oven gloves to make sure you don't burn your hands.
Yes.
If you don't have an oven, how else could you cook your meatballs?
You could fry them. I tend to do that as well. So
how would you fry them?
Well, you don't need too much oil because the mince already has a bit of fat in it. So just say like, how do I measure it now? Not too much oil anyway. I don't know.
Just a coating on the bottom of the pan? Would that be about right?
Yeah. So as long as it doesn't cover the mince ball, then it's fine.
And about how long would you fry them for, do you think?
About 5 minutes, as long as the oil is hot. So you don't want them. You don't want to cook them too much because you're gonna. If they cook too much, they'll be hard. Yeah. Yeah. So tough to eat.
So we made a couple of weeks ago on one of our Facebook Live sessions. We did spaghetti bolognese. Could you, instead of the mince, pop meatballs in? And if so, brilliant. Yes. So. What point during the cooking would you put the meatballs in?
Say like 20 or 25 minutes when you finish doing your sauce, you just pop them in. Sometimes you pop them in like that, it's up to how you want it, but sometimes I put them in the oven for 10 minutes and then pop them in the sauce. Just to hold it together.
Are there any tips there to make sure that it doesn't just become the mince and stays as a meatball?
Yeah, that's why you pop them in the oven. So they hold up a bit. But if you don't want them in the oven, you just try to use a bigger cooking pot. So you separate them when you put them in. So they don't crush. So like when you mix them, you don't like mash them up.
So we've had a couple of comments come through. Let's see. One of them is, thank you so much for introducing me to mixed herbs. I use them in everything. They are great. So your love of mixed herbs has been spread amongst all of our members, and they are very appreciative of it. So lots of we love your cooking. It's so nice. Have you got any recommendations of where you buy good quality mince. So where would you choose to buy your mince from?
That's a hard one. Same.
If money isn't an offer, okay.
Money, yes.
Money isn't a worry. Where would you buy it from?
Sainsbury's, they do good quality mince.
Okay, so if you're a little bit more tight on cash, but you still want a good quality mince, where would you go to? Asda. And is it okay to buy a store brand rather than a...
Yeah, store brand.
Store brand's good.
Yeah, that's why I always get the Sainsbury's brand. Yeah.
I'm just keeping going down to it. So, we've got... You said you could use any sort of mince.
Yes.
So you mentioned lamb mince.
Lamb mince. Yeah.
Turkey mince.
Turkey, yeah.
Are there any hints and tips you have to worry about using a different mince?
It's just that with the turkey mince, because turkey has less fat and chicken. So what I tend to do, if I'm using that, I will put a little bit of olive oil to give it a little bit of fat, because otherwise it will go dry.
Ah, brilliant. That's really, really good hints. Another question, could we use breadcrumbs in the meatball mix to sort of plump it out a bit?
Yes, you could use breadcrumbs, and then you could use, if you don't want to use garlic, because some people don't like garlic, I use onions as well. You dice the onions.
That's the next question.
Yes, onions instead of garlic, because some people don't
So
eat
if you had diced onions in, would you put them in raw or would you soften them first?
I put them in raw because you have to cook them anyway.
Okay.
So.
And we've got people saying, yes, other supermarkets are available. Yes, they definitely are, Maxine. We will use any supermarket. It's just...
Oh, the supermarket, I don't... Yeah.
Aisha's top tips for where she thinks a good quality mince is from. I had another question. I've lost it in here. You told me earlier, Aisha, about a way you cooked your meatballs at home that was a little bit special. What was that?
Okay, when I cook them at home, I add a little bit of peanut butter. Oh, it tastes lovely. Peanut butter.
When do you add the peanut butter?
Not the crunchy one, the smooth peanut butter. So like for 500 grams, I'll use like 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, smooth, and then just mix it like what I've done here.
So you'd add that at the point where you'd added your mixed herbs and everything?
Yeah, the same time, then just mix it.
And earlier you mentioned about chili flakes.
Yes.
You snuck that one in. How much chili flakes would you add, or is that a depending?
It just depends. For me, because I like hot food, I'll put a teaspoon. But it's up to you how you want it. Half a teaspoon, just a pinch. Yeah.
So we've got, what specific peanut butter would you use? Is there any special brand? Shop brand.
Smooth, not crunchy, the smooth one.
Okay, so just smooth peanut butter, that's all you need to worry about.
Yeah.
So do let us know if you have any suggestions, hints, tips of how you could make these meatballs even more special.
Yeah.
Because I am sure that some of our viewers will have some really good ideas.
Yeah.
Right, where was I? Meatballs. So we mentioned chili powder, we've mentioned peanut butter.
Yes.
We've mentioned different minces, which is really interesting.
Yes.
You were going to say something.
And another thing, that if you don't want to use the cube or the chicken seasoning or beef seasoning, you can use like soy sauce, because it's salty as well and it gives it a nice flavor. I've tried everything with meatballs. So.
I like the sound of soy sauce meatballs.
Soy sauce, just a teaspoon.
Are they a little bit softer?
Yeah, it just gives it that edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about a few ways we could serve our meatballs.
Yeah.
We said we could use them as part of our spaghetti mix a couple of weeks ago instead of the mince.
Yes.
How else can we eat our meatballs?
You could have them as a snack. You could have them, eat them with tomato ketchup, mayonnaise, any sauce, chili, sweet chili sauce, barbecue sauce, what other says, burger sauce, any sauce.
Any sauce you could use.
Dip
them in. If you wanted to make it a meal, what carbohydrate would it go good with? Mash? Pasta?
Well, I tend to use pasta, and you can use rice as well. Yeah.
And I think if I so we've talked about using a sort of a tomato-based sauce. Are there any other ways? Could we use more of a gravy-based thing? Would that work?
Yeah, when I do the meatball stew with rice, I tend to use more of the onions to do the gravy, and then just a few tins of chopped tomato. I don't put any pasta sauce in there, so because that
just for anyone who's allergic to
that you could eat it with rice. That's the way I eat it at home, and I do it like
and
that.
I know we will have a few vegetarians watching, so I know we could use corn mince for these.
Yeah.
But is there any? Can you think off the top of your head any vegetarian alternative that isn't corn mince or the equivalent? I'm testing your knowledge now, Aisha.
That isn't corn. Corn mince.
Could you do this with some sort of minced vegetable? Would that work? I'm asking a question. I don't know.
It might. I haven't tried it yet, to be honest. So
we will have to experiment.
Yeah.
Please experiment yourselves and let us know.
Yeah, I can't really say that I have never tried it like that.
Oh, it is starting to smell really nice in here, Aisha.
Yes.
Do we need to look in the oven, or do you think? Am I being a little bit eager?
No.
I'm hoping I might be allowed to try a meatball as well, even though I'm not the official taste tester.
Yeah. Ooh. Few more minutes, they're done.
Few more minutes and they're done. So we're serving them today as a snack, aren't we? So we're just going to have...
We're going to serve it with barbecue sauce.
Again, any brand is available,
Any
although
sauce,
that is definitely a Hind's. Looking at the box. Other brands are available. Please feel free to use whichever brand, whichever sauce you like best.
Whichever sauce you like, yeah.
So I'm wondering, could you just pop them in a bowl and put a little bit of grated cheese on top and let it melt over them?
You could, however you want to do it. It will taste nice, whatever way these are minced all. It tastes nice, so you could do that. And just getting the plates ready.
And if you're cooking these for someone else, make sure you know about anyone's allergies before you cook.
Yes.
So for instance, if someone's allergic to nuts, don't put peanut butter in it.
That's why they
If someone's allergic to fish, don't use soy sauce. Just be a little bit aware when you're cooking for other people. Even cooking for yourself, make sure you've read ingredients to make sure there's nothing that could cause you an allergic reaction. And if you need help reading ingredients, there are lots of ways around that. So do get in touch if you want to know about how to make that better. We will make sure, I'll try and get it out of Aisha. I'll try and get the recipe out and get it up on Facebook later today. Okay. But she does guard this very, very tightly. We've been trying to get the secret out of her for ages. So we'll see what we manage to do. Aisha doesn't like sharing her cooking secrets. Mixed herbs, yes. Specifics on how to cook things, not so much, because that's what makes you lot come in and eat. Because it's also yummy. And what?
Just gonna put the sauce in here.
So what we've done here, we've got a bowl with sauce in. And we're going to pop the meatballs on a plate when they come out. I hope not all of them, because I'm sure my taste tester doesn't need to eat all of them. As some of you have guessed, yes, Glenn has volunteered out of the goodness of his heart to do the taste testing, and he's very hungry. I don't know how, I'm sure we gave you lunch today. And he says he could eat all of the meatballs. I think that's just because they are so nice. And we do like Aisha's cooking so much that we just want to eat it all the time. Yeah. And today was, Aisha's got her oven gloves out. They are really, really, really thick. And they're proper gloves with fingers. And they have got grippy bits all over the front and all over the back. You are not going to burn yourselves using these oven gloves. So as Aisha has got the oven gloves out, I think she might be opening the oven and getting something out. Very excited. Very, very excited. So what are we looking for when we open the oven? How are we going to know they're done?
We're going to look for the colour.
What colour should they be?
Should be golden brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's leave it a little bit more.
So if you can't see the colour, how else could we check?
You could use a fork.
And what
then
are you?
just
What sort
cut
of?
it in the middle, cut one of them and see if it's cooked. If it's all brown, it shouldn't be baked.
Okay, so would it feel sort of? Because I know with a cake, it feels
Oh,
sticky. Is there a
okay.
different texture with
It
it?
will just come apart easily.
Okay. So we're looking for them to
Yeah.
stay together as a ball rather than flake apart and
Yeah, you know it's cooked.
be a bit of mush on the plate. That's not what we're looking for.
No.
So yeah, we've done a nice small number. Aisha, last time you did meatballs,
Yes.
how many meatballs did you have to make?
When?
The last time you made meatballs for Croydon Vision.
Oh, that was a lot. I don't know the numbers. I used like 8 packets of minced beef, 750
Wow.
grams each. That's a lot. Yeah.
So that must have taken you forever just to make
It
them.
takes me about 2.5 hours to do. Takes time.
Gosh, we need to get you some more volunteers. So they can help you with the load rather than it being 2.5 hours of making meatballs.
I know. So that's why I don't do them often, but it takes time.
So just while we're waiting those few more minutes, we've got a few more comments.
Yeah.
We have got lots more. We love your cooking, Aishas. And Maxine has decided that the reason Glenn comes in all the time, specifically on a Thursday, is that he hopes he'll be allowed down into Croydon Vision, into the cooking area, and be allowed to do his taste testing. I'm sure that isn't the only reason Glenn volunteers, because he does lots of volunteering.
It just happens to come in on a Thursday whenever we're doing cooking.
Brilliant. So we just got to wait a few more moments. I hope you have all had some brain food today, because after we have done the quiz, we will be heading over. Sorry, after we've done the food tasting, I got ahead of myself there. We will be going over to a quiz. And some of you, if you read my Facebook post of earlier, might even know the topic. It is going to be a travel-based quiz. I mentioned it earlier in the video again, so that we can keep our travel theme going. To go from languages, how you go about it, and just a little bit more knowledge, maybe, maybe not. We'll just have to test. Remember the quiz, you don't need anything but your brains and some way of writing down the answers on a bit of paper, on a note on your computer. If you're a brailleist, on a braille note taker or old-fashioned Perkins Braille machine. Just a bit of fun for you to do on your own rather than a competition. It's not a competition, although there will be virtual meatballs for the person who gets the most answers right. We do like giving out our virtual food.
Let's check again.
Oh, they do smell very nice. Now we have got a stainless steel counter, so we can put hot pans directly down on it. If you are at home, you probably need to put some form of protector down on your counters so you don't accidentally burn them. So I should just cut straight through one of the meatballs with a fork. Didn't require a lot of pressure, did it?
No.
It just sort of came apart in a half rather than a mush. So how many meatballs are we giving Glenn? He can't eat 22.
Glenn, how many would you like? It's up to you. You can have all of them.
I was going to take one for the team, but I could probably take 5 for the team.
So we're giving you 6.
I'll give you 6.
Okay, 6 for the team.
Yes.
So while Aisha is walking around, I'm just going to pan myself around so that you can see Glenn.
It's hot.
We're not leaving you on an empty space. There we are. And we've moved you round to Glenn.
Should I just put it?
Put it here.
Yeah, that's very hot.
And they've just come out of the oven, everyone.
Yeah,
They are very
they're
warm.
hot.
Wow, these smell absolutely delicious, everybody.
We're all waiting in anticipation.
So I'm taking half for the team.
Starting off with half, I'm sure you'll go a few more.
Absolutely amazing. And Maxine, the slanderous things you were saying about it, not true, not true. Somebody has to do the job, Maxine. I volunteered.
We are really pleased that Glenn volunteered to taste the meatballs.
These are absolutely gorgeous.
So who's going to have a go at cooking meatballs either this weekend or next week? Now they've got Aisha's secret recipe and method. Do let us know. There is no favouritism going on here, Jennifer. Anyone who was here would have been given the option to have meatballs. It's just Glenn volunteered himself. So I'm just going to pass you on to Corrie and Anna, who are going to do the quiz for us.
Hello everybody!
Hello everyone.
Hi! So me and Corrie, we're going to take you through the quiz. So you might not have seen me on Facebook Live before now. This is my first time. I'm Anna. I'm one of the outreach workers, and Corrie is the children and young people worker. And we're going to make a really exciting quiz for you, all about travel.
I'm just going to move you forward.
So, as Catherine has already said, please don't put the answers in the comments because it gives it all away before we tell you the proper answers. So, without further ado, we'll get going. So, the first lot of questions, we're going to say a place or something, and we want to know who or what were these ships associated with. So, just to give you a clue, I know it's not a ship, but if I said Edinburgh Castle, it's associated with Edinburgh. I hope that gives you an idea of what we're kind of after. So the first one, the first ship, is the Marie Celeste. What is the Marie Celeste associated with? So, we'll give you a few seconds to answer that, however you're answering it, whether that's a braille note taker, whether it's a Perkins, or whether it's pen and paper, however you're doing it. We'll give you a chance. Okay, we'll move on to the second one, which is, so number 2 is the SS Great Britain. What do we associate the SS Great Britain with? Remember, it's a ship, so that's the clue as well. And I can see that Glenn is tucking into his meatballs and thoroughly enjoying them.
And if anyone needs any questions repeating, just please say what question number and we'll repeat them for
Please
you.
let us know if you need a ship repeated. So number 3, Santa Maria. What do we associate Santa Maria with? So who or what is it associated with?
I know a song about that. I learnt it at secondary school, I think it was.
Well, if we have time at the end.
Okay, I only remember 3 bits.
We'd like it to sing it now. No, maybe not.
I only remember 3 bits, and that was the name of the 3 ships.
Right. Okay, are we ready for number 4, which is the Golden Hind? So, number 4 is the Golden Hind.
Well, I'm glad that I'm reading out the questions and not doing it, because so far I know the answer to none, so that's great.
Well, I think I'd probably be very similar, Corey.
So I hope you guys are doing better than what we would be doing.
Yes, I hope you are. Right, now, number 5, I think some of you just might know. It is quite a well-known ship. It's been mentioned on the telly quite a bit recently, and it's the Bismarck. What is the Bismarck associated with?
There was even a film about it.
There's even a film about it, yep. And your grandparents might have been in the right period of time for it. Clue.
You're very nice in giving clues away. I'm not that nice.
Right. Are we ready now for number 6, peoples? Okay. Endurance. What is the endurance ship associated with, or it might be a person that it's associated with? So that is number 6, the endurance. Number 7 is the HMS Victory. Who or what is the MHS Victory associated with?
Okay, I think I finally know one, guys.
Yay!
We will have to give Corey a meatball.
Or she might even get a real meatball rather than the
She
virtual one.
might
okay.
need to get a real one. And number 8 is the I will say that again because I rather messed it up. Number 8 is the Mayflower Fathers. So the Mayflower. Who or what is the Mayflower associated with? And number 9, now I know a song about this one, and it's a longboat. So what do we associate a longboat with?
We'll have to share our travelling songs later. Or ship-based songs.
Yes. And I'm sure that the longboat, if you think back to school, you will know what the longboat is associated with.
And some of us have longer to think back than others.
Yes. Yes. And the final one
For this round.
is, for this round, just for this round, is the beagle. Who or what is the beagle associated with? If you need anything repeated, let us know in the comments and we'll repeat it for you.
And we're just going to have a little bit of a chat whilst we
Are indeed.
let you think, let you type back to us.
Yes.
So, Corrie, did
Yeah.
you get better towards the end?
No, I think the only ship I knew was because I went on a school trip. I remember it very vividly. But thinking about it, I still don't know the answer. Just the only ship I recognise, which I think is very bad.
I recognise the ships, but if you'd asked me who they were associated with,
You
I
wouldn't
would
know.
have known. So
So
I
let's.
don't recognise the ships, but so
They were very hard, Anna.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Anna. They were very hard.
yeah,
So let's see how people do rather than
us.
us. And yeah, some of them were a little bit easier than others. Some of them were
Yeah.
very hard, and some of them you had to rack your brains for, thinking,
Yes.
"Oh, I know that one, but where?" So,
Right.
if anyone else has any, I don't think we want anything repeated because they were hard.
Okay, so can we go on to the
Let's have the answers and
Okay,
see how many
well-
of you are going to be smacking your head and going, "Oh, I did know that one."
The first one, which was the Marie Celeste, you probably wouldn't want to be on this ship because it's a ghost ship. It's the ship that just turned up and there was nobody on it. And there's quite a story behind that. So that's the first one. And the second one, the SS Britain, that is Brunel.
Ah, Isambard Kingdom, Brunel.
Isambard Brunel. I can't say his name properly.
Isambard Kingdom Brunel.
Isambard Kingdom Brunel.
He designed it and built it, not personally.
Not helped to build it.
Because he's. Oh, we've had a late answer. We will be nice. Could we repeat questions 6 and 7? We haven't got to them yet, so we will.
We will. Number 7 is the HMS Victory, and number 8 is the Mayflower.
And can we have number 6?
Oh, sorry, number 6.
That's okay.
Number 6 was Endurance.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the answers. I hope those extra little questions helped you. Back to the answers. We're being nice this week.
Yeah. Okay. Number 3 is Santa Maria, and that was Christopher Columbus's boat. So Christopher Columbus. Wow.
The 3 ships in the convoy were the Pinta, the Lena, and the Santa Maria.
Right. Okay.
Are you a bit of a ship enthusiast, Catherine?
No, well, okay, my granddad was in the Navy, so I did get taken down to Portsmouth every year as a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was part of the song. So the only bit I remember of the song was the name of the 3 ships.
Okay. And then we have number 4. Number 4 is the Golden Hind. It's another explorer, it's Sir Francis Drake. So it's Sir
I knew
Francis.
that one.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well done. Now the next one, which is number 5, it's the Bismarck. Now that is German. It was in the war. So that's why I'm saying some of your older relatives, or maybe even if you're of a certain generation, you might have been around. It was one of the German warships, I think.
And if I remember rightly, the film is Sink the Bismarck.
Yes.
Because that might have been on recently as well.
Yes. Now, number 6. Can we do number 6 now? Yeah, I think we can do Endurance. Number 6 is Endurance, and it was Ernest Shackleton. And I can't remember, did he go up north or did he go down south?
Oh, I never get my poles right.
I know. But he either was the first person to the North Pole or to the South Pole. We can't quite remember which pole, so maybe you could let us know in the comments.
Yes,
if you know the
those of you
answer.
who are better at your poles,
Yes.
please let us know if it was north or south.
South, yes. Now, HMS Victory, you really should know this one, folks. This is number 7. HMS Victory is Horatio Nelson.
And that one is down in Portsmouth because I've visited it.
Yes, it is down, and I think I've been to see the Victory as well.
And I would like to say, we have been well informed by our viewers that we're very bad at geography. It's definitely the North Pole that
It's
Shackleton
definitely
mentioned.
North. I had a feeling it was, but I didn't want to completely pin my flag to it. Okay, my colours to it. Okay, number 8 is the Mayflower, and that is associated with the American Pilgrim Fathers. So the American Pilgrim Fathers, so I think they went over to America in the Mayflower. And number 9, the Longboat. Enya has a song about longboats, if you like Enya, and that's associated with the Vikings. Yeah,
That makes sense.
that makes sense. And finally, number 10, the Beagle, was another explorer. It's Darwin.
Oh.
So Darwin. So that's the first round of the quiz. How did you all do?
Yeah.
Be really interested to know how you all did. So let us know how you've all done. We're going to have a little chat in the meantime about while we wait for you to let us know what the answers were.
And then we'll be doing
And then
food and drink.
And then we'll be doing food and drink with the wonderful Corey.
I know I'm not great at geography, so I'm not surprised I didn't know much about the ships and where they went and who took them there.
Yeah.
But food is my element, so I think I've got this one down. Pronunciation maybe not so much, so if you need me to repeat anything, let me know. But tell us how you've done in the comments, and then we'll get started on round 2.
So I will say, if anyone is a real knows about their science, we just said the beagle, didn't we, rather than the HMS Beagle?
We said beagle. Yes.
The Beagle was also one of the Mars rovers that went up in the last couple of years. And it was called the Beagle because it was an English rover and it was an exploration one.
Yes.
So if you've got it's a Mars rover down, you can have that.
Yeah.
We've got 3 from people. 3 seems to be the score.
It's okay, guys. I got 1, and just about.
And Brunel, because it's their university for some people.
Yes, it is.
Anywhere you learn information, it's you get the knowledge
yeah.
from everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's because you went to that university, you saw it on TV. I learn a lot of information from television.
Yes.
Right, and I think we're going to go on to round 2.
Yes,
Corey.
my favourite type of things, food. So we're going to be doing food and drink. So I'm going to tell you a food or drink, and I want to know where did it originate, okay?
And I'm going to say there are no trick questions.
No trick questions in this one. Don't overthink it, go with your gut, you're probably right. Okay, so number 1. First one, the bargee. Okay, the bargee. I'll give you a few minutes, but I think that one you've eased in nicely. Nice and easy for that one. Okay, number 2, the sake.
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 I would say sake, and it's a drink. We'll give a hint on that one.
Okay. One I didn't know, like I said, pronunciation may not be great, so let me know if you want me to repeat it.
And we can spell things if you need them spelled.
Yes.
I can have a go at typing them. No, I know there's one further down that I'm going to have no chance.
Number 3, snags. Snags. I actually know that one.
Ah, I didn't know that one.
Yes, I know that one. Number 4, goulash. I hope I said that one right. Sometimes you hear things and you've never thought about what they are or where they come from, or so I've
How
heard
to
of
spell
it
them.
before. Yeah, that's not how I would have spelled it either. Number 5, which has surprised me. The answer to this one surprises me a lot. Tomatoes. I think that's a bit of a clue, but it surprised me. Tomatoes.
I don't think there's any way you can guess this one either.
I think I know what I would have guessed, and it's not the answer. Number 6, let me know if you need any repeating. Number 6, pizza. Pizza.
And as we said, no trick questions.
Yes, don't overthink it.
Because I did when I was researching this one.
Number 7, gazpacho. Is that how you pronounce it?
Gazpacho.
Gazpacho. Yes.
Some pronunciation, something like gazpacho, gazpacho.
I thought the S was silent, but I'm not sure.
I
think where it comes from, the S might be silent.
I think everyone pronounces it slightly differently because we've never heard it pronounced properly. We've only
Yes.
ever seen it in a menu.
Number 7, gazpacho. Number 8, which I would never be able to spell, and I probably can't say it, ouzo. Yay!
Again, another drink. So those of you who did really, really well in our drinks round on our food and drink quiz, that's 2 drinks in there.
Number 8, was ouzo. Okay, now moving on to number 9, fondue. Fondue is number 9.
And we're talking about cheese fondue,
Yes.
not chocolate fondue. But they do both originate from the same country.
Really? Oh, I've learned something new, but I've learned a lot today. And number 10, champagne. I think quite a few of us will get that right. But number 10 is champagne.
And we're only looking for the country
Yes.
for champagne, because
Yes.
I know champagne's a protected name, it has to come from a very specific area,
Yeah.
but we're only looking for the country.
If there's any you want me to repeat, let me know in the comments and I will repeat them for you. We'll have a quick chat whilst we wait to find out, to give you the answers.
So Anna, was that a better round for you? Did you know more of those hearing the questions?
Not really. my general knowledge is not brilliant, as you can tell.
Corey, were you happy with this round?
Yes, but that's because I enjoy food and drink. So, and I like, if I go travelling or if I'm on holiday, I like to try out like local food. So I tend to come across these things by accident. But something like tomatoes is not something you really go out to explore. So I didn't know that one.
I must admit, I think my mother would have done better in this round because she loves cooking. And she really enjoys cooking, and she's got a great knowledge of cooking. So yeah.
Sorry, Mike has just shared a comment. He says that fondue and champagne is the best breakfast ever. Mike, I'm sorry to tell you this. Fondue and champagne aren't usually associated with breakfast.
Well, I don't know.
Well, champagne.
Well, depends. Wedding breakfast.
I'm trying to remember if this is one of the questions in the quiz. I don't think it is. So I may be about to give you an answer if it is. You can have champagne with orange juice one day of the year for breakfast in the UK.
Yeah.
Just one day.
In the UK, you only tend to have Bucks Fizz around Christmas for breakfast.
Yes, of course.
Whereas in America, you'd call it a mimosa. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same ingredients, but you could have it all year round.
Yes.
And of course, people do have champagne at a wedding breakfast.
Yeah,
Yes.
so okay, we'll let you have your champagne for breakfast.
breakfast.
Mike. So let's have the answers now and
Okay.
see how everyone did. Please do share any surprises you found that you didn't realise that was where it
Yes,
was
let
from.
us know in the comments. So, answers. Number 1, the bhaji was from India. So the answer to number 1 was India, which is on my bucket list. I hope to go there one day and try out a native bhaji. I don't want a shop bought one, I want a native one.
You need to find some Indian friends.
Yes.
Because they
A much cheaper trip. Finding some friends.
one of my neighbours does like cooking for us. She's of Indian descent, and you get the most amazing food when you have street parties.
Oh yeah, I need to move where you live. Right, answer to number 2 is Japan. Japan was number 2.
And it can be served hot or cold.
Okay.
In its sort of still variety. I don't like still sake, but I've had sparkling sake, and that tastes like really, really, really good champagne.
Oh,
And it's much lighter. That's very
that
nice.
sounds nice. Okay, number 3. I'm going on to number 3. The answer is Australia, which I knew this one. I knew this from The Chase.
Oh.
Yes, so TV does teach you things.
I have to be honest, Australia is one of my places on my bucket list. I'd love to go to Australia and New Zealand.
Number 4. Are we ready for number 4? We are going to get the answer for number 4, which is Hungary. Hungary.
What was that one again?
That was the goulash.
Goulash, yes.
I didn't know that, and I don't think I would have guessed
yeah,
that.
I think I knew that.
I was going towards Iceland. I don't know why. It just sounded a bit Icelandic. Right, we're going to get the answer for number 5. Tomatoes. So, this is the one that really, really surprised me. Anna, do you have a guess for where tomatoes might be from?
Somewhere Asia?
No, tomatoes are from Central America.
Central America? Really?
Yeah.
Well, you learn something new every day, Corey.
That was Central America
Wow.
for number 5.
Wow.
Number 6 is Italy. So that's the one we told you not to overthink. Pizza originates from Italy. I know you had a bit of trouble with that one, Catherine. You wasn't sure.
I had a vague memory of being told something I know a couple of Italian things that we think are very Italian don't originate in Italy, and I wondered if pizza was one of them.
Yes, but pizza is from Italy. Number 7, gazpacho is from Spain. So Ines, you'll have to tell us how to actually pronounce it because I think I'm saying it wrong. But number 7, the answer is Spain.
We've got lots of wows about tomatoes. We all think that as well.
See? Number 8, the answer for ouzo was Greece. The answer is Greece. Again, I would not guess that one.
Again, if you know your alcoholic beverages.
Is that one you knew, Catherine?
I have been to Greece as well.
Oh, okay. Number 9, Mike, I hope you got this one right. Fondue originates from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Switzerland was the answer to number 9, which I also knew. I've been to Switzerland, amazing country.
And that's why Swiss cheese is better in fondue, because it's got a slightly different melting point. Yeah. It's a bit more stringy.
Oh, right.
If you use cheddar, it will work, but Swiss cheese is better for the consistency of dipping and dunking into.
Right.
Which we will not be doing for a while.
No. Never mind.
Number 10, so our final answer, which was for the question champagne. Champagne originates from France.
Right.
Yeah, France. Which again, I did know that one.
France.
Yes.
The
It's the Champenoise region.
Yeah.
If you put Champenoise region, you get a bonus point down. Point
Yeah, I
because
think so.
You definitely know your drinks.
yes. Champagne has to be produced in that very specific region, otherwise it can't be called champagne.
Oh,
Wow. I didn't know
Now,
that.
I thought that there was Australian champagne. That
No,
was very
even
wrong.
so, there is a vineyard in the very south of England that grows the right grapes, uses the same process that they use in champagne, but they have to call their drink sparkling wine.
Oh,
Even
wow.
though it is technically champagne because it uses all the same process, but because it's not
Yeah.
grown in the right region, it cannot be called champagne.
Gosh.
Wow. Tell us how you did in the comments. I'd like to know what everyone got.
We're also trying to work out what people in Italy put on their pizzas before tomatoes.
Mm.
And that's stumping me. I'm going to send someone off to do some research.
Before tomatoes? Like before the sauce or before...
Well, if tomatoes come from Central America
Oh wow, that's
and
completely
pizza was
blown
made in
my mind.
Italy, at what point did the two coincide to have tomatoes on your pizza?
That has completely blown my mind. I'm guessing that tomatoes has come first and pizza came second. Because otherwise it's like a bread, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a type of bread.
A bit of cheese on toast with fancy toast.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing slightly better on this round. We've got some
Okay,
fours.
Yeah.
Jennifer got a bonus point.
Oh,
Maybe we're being
well
too
done,
nice and giving out
Jennifer.
bonus points.
Okay, are we ready for the third round?
Oh, Maxine is currently in the lead again.
Well
Maxine,
done,
what did Maxine get?
She got 9 altogether.
Well
Wow.
done. Well done.
Wow, that's amazing, Maxine. Well done.
Let's go on to round 3.
Go on to Amanda. Now, this one, I think you might find this one a bit easier because I think you might recognise these places a bit easier. So what we want to know is I'm going to say a place or a thing, and we want to know where would you find these. So number 1, the Hoover Dam. We just want the country for this. You don't need to say anything more. We just want the country of which you'd find the Hoover Dam in.
That's good because I can give you a country, but I
Well,
probably
yeah,
can't
well,
get much closer
yeah.
than that.
Yeah. So the Hoover Dam, where would you find it? I'll give you a few seconds to jot that down, however you're doing that, before we move on to number 2. Okay, number 2, I'm sure you're going to know where this is. The Taj Mahal. Where is the Taj Mahal? Again, we just need a country.
I can do city on that one.
Taj Mahal.
Right, still with countries.
Yeah.
I have visited
Well, maybe since we've got someone who does know the city, if you do know the city, we can maybe
it.
give you a
Oh, no more bonus points.
Okay. Catherine says no more bonus points. Okay. Number 3. Fingal's Cave. Where would you find Fingal's Cave? If you want us to repeat anything, remember, put it in the comments and we'll go back to it and repeat it for you. So we're currently on number 3, Fingal's Cave. Okay, I think I'll move on. And this one is the Bridge of Sighs. Where is the Bridge of Sighs?
And there are two possible
places,
answers.
yes.
And we will
There
take
are 2 possible.
either of the answers, even though one is the original and one is named after it.
Okay.
And
Now,
we might give a bonus point if you do get both of them on that one.
yeah. Now, number 5. I think there might be 2 or 3 places that this is in as well. And this is the Opera House.
That should say the Royal Opera House.
Oh,
That was the typo I needed to change.
Right, it's set, right, okay, Catherine has corrected it. It is the Royal Opera House. Where is the Royal Opera House?
I
This
will-
is one I know.
I will say if you Google the Opera House, you do get the same answer.
Oh, do you?
So it is the one that is known as the Opera House.
Okay.
But the official name is the Royal Opera House.
Right, okay. That's good to know. Right, I think we'll move on to number 6, and I'll try and pronounce this correctly. The Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa. Where is the Burj Khalifa? What country is it in? Oh, now this one we do need to know the state. So number 7 is the Statue of Abraham Lincoln, and we want the state on where this one is, as well as so you know the country, but we want the state.
Being a clue there.
He's sitting in a big chair.
Yes.
Sitting in a big, big chair. Now, number 8, for those of you, I know this, I think this has got to do with, if you know your history, your European history, you'll know where this is. And number 8 is Checkpoint Charlie. So where is Checkpoint Charlie? And we want the city again, not just
Corey,
the
I think you're a
country.
little bit too young
I
to
was
know
going to
this
say, I feel
one.
like I'm really good at history. Why don't I know that?
Checkpoint Charlie, and we want the city of where it is. Now, everybody's got to know this, even if we've got some of the young children, the young people and children with us, they will know this one. Number 9, the Eiffel Tower. What
This is
country
one I
is-
know.
Oh no, what city is the Eiffel Tower in? So what city is the Eiffel Tower in? I'm sure.
And we're looking for the big one,
Yes.
not the little one that's in Vegas, or the pretend one that's in Blackpool.
Okay. No, we want the original Eiffel Tower. Where is the original Eiffel Tower? And what city is it in?
Or if you're from South London, the one you might have confused with Crystal Palace's
Yes.
Meatballs. It's not
And
that one.
finally, the Barbary Apes. Where? That's number 10. The Barbary Apes. What country is the Barbary Apes in? So we'll have a little chat. If you want anything repeated, do tell us in the comments. We'll have a little chat amongst ourselves to, I know one really interesting fact about the Burj Khalifa. Apparently, you can see the sunset twice. You can see it on the ground, then you can get a lift right up to the top, and you can see it again from the top. So, yes, that's a really
If you ever
go to
I've got a fact about, well, it's not really a fact, but the Royal Opera House.
Go on.
I'll probably actually have to say it, might give it away, so I'll have to say it once we've got the answer.
Okay. Do we think, are people giving their
repeated. Apparently, we've been very mean and had a very hard quiz this time.
Really? I thought this was quite a nice quiz.
It's very easy when you know the answers.
Yeah.
And you did have the answers in front of you, Corey.
Are we ready for the answers?
We
Yeah,
are.
I think we are.
Okay, the Hoover Dam. It's in America. So the Hoover Dam is in America. Now, number 2, the Taj Mahal. It's in India. It's in India.
It's part of the Golden Triangle,
Yes.
Golden Triangle.
and it is, let me make sure, Delhi.
Delhi. And I think it's a mausoleum, isn't it?
It is, and
It's a
the
mausoleum.
best time visually to go and see it is either sunrise or sunset.
Really?
As the sun, either sunrise when the sun first hits it, you have to get up very early in the morning to do that,
In India,
or
yes.
sunset where you get the sunset on it, because the type of stone that's used is really reflective, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
you go from seeing it almost dark to really glittering, or you go to
Wow.
see it from glittering to almost dark. The
Yeah.
sun makes a huge difference with the Taj Mahal.
Oh, right.
So that can go on your bucket list when you go and visit India.
Yes.
Now, the third one, making sure I haven't lost my place here. The third one, Fingal's Cave, that is in Scotland, in the Isles. So it's in Scotland. It's in Scotland. And the Bridge of Sighs, is in Venice. But we will also accept Oxford. So that is Venice. Now, the Royal Opera House, that's number 5. The Royal Opera House is in London.
So let's hear Corey's interesting.
It's not really a fact, but I've actually performed at the Royal Opera House.
Wow.
That is a fact.
Yes.
Wow.
If you want to know a fact about Corey, I've actually performed at the Royal Opera House. I
Wow.
did a show for 2 weeks on
Wow.
the stage.
Wow.
6 months of preparing, 2 weeks on stage every night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, that must have been some experience.
Yes, it was a really good experience.
Yeah.
Amazing place to visit though. A
Yeah.
really lovely place to visit.
Yeah. And number 6 is the Burj Khalifa. Ooh. Ever so now and again, our cooker goes spark, and I nearly jumped out of my skin then when it did it. So number 6 is the Burj Khalifa, and that is in the United Arab Emirates. See, I can actually say that, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates. Okay,
And
the statue of Abraham Lincoln, it is of course in Washington in America, but it's in Washington. And number 8, I said if you're of a certain generation you'd know this, it's Checkpoint Charlie, and it's in Berlin. And of course it relates to when Berlin was split into 2, there was the East and the West, and people had to go through the checkpoint to go from East to West before the Berlin Wall fell. So that was quite a historic point. It's not there now. I'm not sure if it's even there now, because of course Berlin's been united. And then finally, no, we're not quite there. Number 9, the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. I've been up the Eiffel, well, almost all the way up the Eiffel Tower. It was a lovely experience. And number 10 is the Barbary Apes, and they are in Gibraltar. So,
And if you had put Dubai down for the Burj Khalifa, that's exactly where it is, so you get a point. If you put Dubai and UAE, you get 2 points. So please do,
So, tell us what your total score is.
and we'll see who we're sending a virtual meatball to.
to. I'm actually hoping that I might actually even have
There are a few hidden behind me.
a little one at the end
Whilst
of
we
our
are
quiz.
waiting for
Yes.
some of the
Tell us
answers,
about your
we've actually got some quick notices for August.
Sorry.
And if to know about my Royal Opera House experience, I will be happy to let you know. But we have some quick notices for August. So we have some excursions coming up, very exciting. We will be going to Littlehampton Seaside on Monday the 3rd of August and Friday the 28th of August. Transport is available. Excursion return is £20, and Littlehampton is roughly an hour and a half from Croydon Vision, so not too long on the bus or driving if that's how you'll be getting there. And it's located in Sussex. It is a sandy beach, so we'll get to not have to step on pebbles and put our toes in the sand, and has a small fishing village. On Friday the 7th of August and Monday the 24th of August, we will be going to Hastings. Hastings is known for its 1066 historical battle, and it's approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes away from Croydon Vision as well. It is a pebble beach, and transport is also available again. Excursion return for £20. On Monday the 10th of August and Friday the 21st of August, we will be going to Eastbourne. Eastbourne is one of my favourite British city breaks. Eastbourne is in East Sussex and is around an hour and a half again from Croydon Vision, and they have a very good fish and chip shop restaurant to visit, so we know what we'll be having for lunch. On Friday, again, transport is available, excursion return for £20. On Friday the 14th of August and Monday the 17th of August, we will be going to Brighton, which is pretty close. It's only about an hour away, isn't it? Excursion return for transport is £15. I know there's a train from East Croydon that takes you straight there. But then it's a little bit of a walk. It is a little bit of a walk.
It's okay getting to the beach because it's all downhill.
Yes, it's going back because it is uphill.
We actually went to Brighton a few years ago, the working age, and yeah, that walk back it is a walk back uphill, and we did it in the heat.
Don't have too much fish and chips if you're going to be getting on the train, because that walk back is not great.
It's not great. But we have got the minibus going for those.
We do, and the excursion return is £15 for that one. So you'll notice that there was 2 dates for all trips, and that's because of social distancing and availability on the minibus. Please bring along a packed lunch or have lunch in a local restaurant. Like we said, there has been fish and chip shops that have been named. We will be leaving by 9:30 in the morning and returning by 4:30 in the afternoon. So a nice long lovely day out at the beach, hopefully get a tan, have a nice lunch and spend some time together. One thing to note though is that home pickups / returns will only be provided to those who are unable to make their own way to CV. Like we said, our minibuses are limited on the amount of people that can go on there, so please only let us know if you require that. If you do require a guide, please mention this when booking, and all you need to do is call reception to book a place. Also on that note, we have a very exciting challenge coming up on Saturday the 1st of August. It's the Box Hill Challenge. So we are planning to participate in a fundraising hill-based challenge. Last year, before I came, I know you climbed Mount Snowdon in Wales. I've heard lots of stories, so I'm very excited to be a part of this one. We are going to be climbing Box Hill. It's a local summit. It's in North Downs in Surrey. It's not very far. Do you know how roughly long it is from here, Catherine?
About 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah, so it's
by
car.
Yeah,
or van, car. So
by vehicle.
Yeah, not too far. We will be putting the link to the Just Giving page in the comments, and alternatively, you can call us for a sponsorship form. We are raising money to get an electronic gate, and that's for safety and to stop random cars constantly turning in and speeding away with no consideration for our members. So it is a real safety measure that we're trying to put in, so you can understand why it's so important to get that gate. We are committed to raising £4,500 to do this, and therefore each participant is aiming to raise at least £100. So if you would like to take part, please call reception, where we will provide you with a full itinerary and a sponsorship form. There will be a £10 cost, which will cover transport to and from Box Hill to Croydon Vision. There will be no home pickup for this event though, so please do bear that in mind when signing up. Just to give you a rundown on the day, we will leave Croydon Vision at 9 AM in the morning, so it's a bright and early start, and that will be so that we can walk in time to miss all the crowds. So we're going to walk gently uphill, which is very important because I don't like walking uphill. I think you're anything like me.
It is a nice, gentle slope.
So gentle is very important, so there's nothing to worry about if you don't like uphill walks. Then there is 3 options, varying from 30 to 90 minutes each, and they offer different types of scenery, and I'm guessing they're different levels of difficulty?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all not too difficult walks.
Yeah.
They're all moderate at most. They haven't gone into the challenging walks.
Yes.
So
They're nice walks. And at the top, there's a cafe serving cold and hot drinks and snacks, or you can bring your own packed lunch if you prefer. We will be walking down the hill either via a leisurely route or through a rather steep step walk if you want an extra challenge. But like Catherine said, it is a moderate walk, so it's not too difficult. I mean, I'm doing it, guys, and I would not do anything that I thought was going to be super difficult because I don't particularly enjoy walking. So, it'll be okay.
And Catherine, can I ask you a question?
You can ask.
Because you've put on the itinerary as things that we might need.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want people to wear sensible shoes, wear sensible outer clothing. But one of the things you put was a protein food, high energy,
snacks,
not chocolate. So can you explain what those are? Because I wasn't sure.
So it's basically a bar that isn't chocolate. So you can get a lot of bars will say high protein on them.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be covered in chocolate on the outside because if it's a hot day,
it will melt.
So a lot of them have nuts, but we would ask that if possible, you try and stay away from nuts.
Yeah.
But it's just oat bar. Something like a porridge bar would be very good. It's something that's going to give you a lot of energy if you suddenly feel you need it.
Okay, that sounds really good.
That's a quick boost of energy that you need.
Yeah, and obviously we do need you to be sensible in what you wear. So you can explain.
So that's all the notices for August. Do we have results in of how
we have a 3-way tie.
Oh wow! Okay.
So let me double check who it was. It was Maxine, Jennifer, and Coral. All got.
Well done.
I'm trying to remember what it was. 12 points, which I think we were very mean to target. Well done, everyone.
Well done. Okay, well, thank you for being with us today. I enjoyed it very much. My first time on the big screen. I feel like I'm going up in the world. I loved it very much. Glenn, I hope you enjoyed your meatballs. Thank you to Aisha for teaching us the recipe. I can't wait to go home and try them out.
Yeah.
And I hope you have learned something new from our quiz. I've learned a lot. I don't know much about geography and so on. Next week we are going to have a session on eye health from our trustee Drubin, and we will be having a health workshop. So make sure you're tuned in next week, same time, for that information. Bye.